What's up, everybody? This is Tim Sykes. I know I don't sound like myself. I'm sick as shit. I've been traveling too much, and I'm staying at one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed at here in Spain. I'm not even going to mention their name yet because I'm going to destroy them in a detailed review later. But, you know, when you're traveling, you need air conditioning, especially in the summer, especially on the coast of Spain, and you need comfortable bedding. Especially when you're paying a few $1,000s a night. So I'm sick, unfortunately. I'm going to have to cancel today's challenge webinar. The good news is you challenge students are still getting 2 webinars this week. You got one from Mark Crook and Michael Good, 2 of my most successful students. The challenge has only gotten better recently with the addition of Mark Crook's alerts and video lessons exclusively for you guys. So I'm proud of that really just becoming an incredible oh my god, that's how sick I am. An incredible teaching experience. So again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to push it back to next week. I can barely talk, but I want to get this video lesson out because I actually still made nearly $2,000 today shorting AVXL and on my CDXS long, and I want to get to these trades real quick because frankly, a lot of you guys are just making undisciplined trades, and it's not just about me wanting you guys to be my next millionaire students. I get pissed when you make stupid trades and you cost yourselves money and you act like degenerates, and you give penny stock trading a bad name. And that's sadly why penny stocks have such a bad name, because people don't play by the rules and they lose a lot of money. And, they blame penny stocks when in fact they should blame themselves. I am here, whether I am sick or healthy, to teach you useful rules that I have refined over 15 years. So let's get to my 2 trades, and I'll also answer some questions. I don't know how long I can talk, but we'll try. Here is NETE, by the way. I want to talk about this one first. So this one has been spiking. In my watch list yesterday, I said, do not hold this stock for very long. It is a carcass company, and they do nasty financing. So this entire run-up was basically just to get a financing done, and they announced it yesterday, and it dropped nearly 50%. People in the chat room are like, "Oh, it's gonna pop again today." Do not buy stocks that do toxic financings. Plug had good news the other day, and they did a little toxic financing too. It hasn't dropped that much, frankly, just because it wasn't up that much. So it's actually a good thing that these guys got some money. But when a company like NETE that has this huge fade does these nasty deals, offshore deals, you have to be very, very wary. The same thing with OHGI today. They did a nasty financing. And part of the reason why this was fading, I did a video lesson a few weeks ago. This company has a WhatsApp-like messenger service that is supposedly fast growing, but when it's spiking from the 1s to the 5s and they can't get a financing done, you have to be very wary, because when these stocks that need cash spike, they need to do a financing right away. That's why you do the spikes, so that you can get investors interested in raising millions of dollars. All this time it was fading. They couldn't even do a financing. Now they finally do a financing at $1.75. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. So even though I profited nicely off this, I'm glad I warned not to be long, and I haven't had this in my long-term newsletter on this fade when you can't get a financing done. So always be wary of toxic financings and financings that aren't completed. That brings me to my trades today. CDXS. So this has been fading the past 100 days a little bit. Yesterday it spiked quite nicely, 20-25% on a licensing deal with Merck. Merck is a $165 billion company doing a deal with this little company. I wish this company were smaller. It's still a $100 million plus company. So if it were like a $30 million company or a $50 million company, it might have spiked more. But excuse me. It couldn't spike that much. I still bought it long overnight just because I thought that it would have a chance to spike today. I thought that it could retest or break this high of 424. It did get to 420, but it couldn't break the day high. I bought it on a dip here in the 390s. So when you're buying contract winners, you can't really chase them, because a lot of these contract winners, they're nice, but one contract does not necessarily make the stock. So be aware of that. And, I'm working on finishing my Spikeability DVD. Don't even get me started. I just erased like a third of the new stuff that I had filmed accidentally. My life is a mess when I'm sick and I'm trying to trade and I'm trying to teach. That's the truth. My schedule is insane. Anyways, trying to dip buy contract winners. Do not chase. I would never buy this stock at 424 here. Maybe on the breakout of the day high at 4, or on the dip here when it holds in the 380s. This is why people are like, Tim, why are you buying this? It's too big of a company. It's really not going to spike. Okay, maybe it didn't spike. Even right now, it's at 406. My buy was at what, 396? So even right now, if I was still holding, even on the failed morning spike, I'd still be up 10 cents a share. When a stock has solid support like this, support here at 380 and then in the afternoon at 385, what's the risk if I'm buying it at 395? The risk is I might lose 10 cents a share. It's a solid deal with Merck. This company, if you read the press release, is getting nearly $20 million in cash. So it's a huge deal for this small company. And you have technical support. If it doesn't spike, it doesn't spike. I'd still be up 10 cents a share. I sold it at roughly 407, so I made like 10 cents a share. Could have made 20 cents a share, downside of 10 cents. So buying contract winners with limited risk is not that bad of an idea. My better idea today was shorting AVXL. This stock, I actually picked the biggest winner of the past week or so. Right here at, what was it? Right on this day, on the 24th, I made a video and I bought it at 75 cents roughly. And it, went all the way up to $1.50. So this was a nice 100% winner inside of a week. Now it's gotten a little ahead of itself. So I shorted it today right near the open when it failed to morning spike. When you have a stock that's overextended and it fails to morning spike, that is a good shorting opportunity. My first millionaire student, Michael Good, also shorted. He made 1,000. It didn't drop as much as I wanted, but it's just the first down day. This is probably the beginning of the end. So this was a good short. And a lot of you guys are asking questions about ITEK, like why is this spiking? Well, if you look at ITEK, this was a big winner from 6 to 18. This was like the biggest winner in the entire stock market. And it's consolidated and it's come down, and you can see it has solid base here at 12. So when I posted this on my watch list as a potential buy, a lot of people are like, Tim, it's still overvalued. Maybe it's overvalued, but it's consolidated. And every single day it spikes. Look at this. 1 spike, 2 spikes, 3 spikes, and today's 4. So I actually probably should have been long this, but again, I have so little sleep. I'm sick. This is a little too volatile and high priced for me. But don't be afraid to buy stocks after they've consolidated for a while. I have so many lessons to teach you. There's so many stocks moving. And I wish that I was in a better mental and physical state to teach right now. But you really have to study my DVDs and video lessons. A lot of you guys are slacking. You're trying to play random stocks, random patterns, and you're in and out, you're trying different stuff. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, okay? I've worked my ass off. Part of the reason why I'm so sick is because I work my ass off on creating these video lessons and DVDs, structuring your trades, trying to give you specific patterns, specific ideas. I have no idea why some of you guys, the chat room was full of NETE dip buyers today. Yeah, it's down from 60 cents to 30 cents, but they had negative news. Why are you buying a stock that's down 50% on negative news? Do you not remember the DVD that I made where I give an example where it's like 50% off sushi? And, at the end of the day, these little shopping marts in New York sell 50% off sushi. And yeah, you might get decent sushi and you save like $5, but you risk getting really sick. When you buy a stock that's down 50% on negative toxic financing news, you risk losing a lot. So a lot of you guys in the chat room and other chat rooms were chasing this at 36, 38, 40, being like, oh, it's going to bounce to 40, 50. You have no idea if it's going to bounce, and the odds favor it actually going down due to the negative news and the 50% crash. So please stop trying to come up with new patterns. I've already tried all of these patterns. I know exactly what works. Shorting overextended plays like AVXL, and yesterday OMVS, which is a blatant pump. This thing is up from 50 cents to $5 on the back of a mailer. NUGN is on the back of a mailer. This is going to crash soon too. So short pump and dumps, buy contract winners, avoid toxic financings. It's the same rules in all my DVDs and video lessons. You just need to watch. please, please, please use the summer, use the slower time to study and be prepared and not break rules again and again and again. If you trade random patterns, if you trade, against what I've learned over 15 years, you're welcome to do it, but you're going to do worse. Okay, I'm here to help you. I want you guys to make more money. That is my ultimate goal in life. It pains me when you break rules. It pains me when you lose money. So just to recap, in case you guys aren't understanding this, because my brain is all foggy and I'm probably not explaining this in the right way, AVXL potential short because it's up too much. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to crash because it is actually, has potential. That's why I bought it at 75 cents, and it was probably my best trade and alert and video of the past month. But now that it is so overextended, it is a potential short. And I'm glad I shorted it and made nearly $1,000 today. NETE is a no play because it's down 50% off of the highs, so I wouldn't be shorting it. But it had terrible, terrible, terrible news, just like OHGI, which had terrible, terrible news, and it is down now 50% nearly in the past few days. So also, I would encourage the SEC or authorities to investigate this guy who keeps writing about OHGI on Seeking Alpha. He keeps writing positive news pieces every few days. I think his name is Dallas. And every few days, he tries to spike the stock, and now they're doing a financing at a big time discount. That is some very, very suspicious activity. iTech, I would not be shorting. This thing has been consolidating for so long. This might spike again. It might retest the highs. I don't know if it's going to get there. It needs more volume, but don't forget that, former runners can spike again. So these are the main stocks I'm watching. Oh, also AREN is a new blatant pump. This is up from 20 cents to 70 cents. This is a potential short. So again, I'm sorry that I'm sick. Challenge webinar. I'm just done this week. I would try and reschedule it later this week, but I don't even know. I'm stuck at this hotel for the next few days. I'm trying to change hotels. I got to get better before I can teach. I'm sure this video lesson is kind of rambling, but I'll do my challenge webinar next week, and you still get crook and good. So again, I'm sorry, but sometimes life gets in the way. I hope you guys trade safe. It is a slow August. You don't need to trade big. You don't need to have a play every single day. When there's a toxic financing, you don't have to play it. When there's a stock that's not spiking the way it should, you don't have to chase it. CDXS, sure, it's a big deal with Merck, but it's not spiking that much. So play it safe. You will never go wrong by playing a stock safe. You can easily go wrong by playing a stock over aggressive and being like, oh, this news is so good, it has to spike. No stock has to do anything. Okay, I was really amped up about LOXO's news with their one cancer patient who, they might have cured cancer, but it's just one patient, and you have to understand that. So even though I think that LOXO is going to spike more, I'm not in the stock right now, and I'm not trying to force my own hypothesis on this stock. The stock can do whatever it wants. It doesn't matter what I think. So follow price action. And if you go in with a thesis, that's fine. But if price action is going against you, get out. It does not mean that the stock has to do exactly what you expect. Remember, 90% of traders lose money. Most chat rooms, most newsletters, most social networks, they don't want to talk about their losses. So no matter how successful someone seems, oh my God, I got to go. Anyways, whenever someone's so successful, always be wary, okay? Thank you. And look at this. That phone just called me, and then they hung up. I think the hotel has like the wrong number or something. I don't even know where I'm ending this. This is a fever-induced video lesson, but I do have to say that I'm proud of making nearly $2,000 just to show you that a lot of you guys are like, oh, you have to have these multi-monitors and you have to be in the right time zone and the right state of mind and, healthy, and trading is like a sport. I am a disaster right now, an absolute disaster. My fever is probably 102, 103. I'm feeling my forehead right now. But because I stuck to my rules of shorting an overextended stock like AVXL, looking for a morning panic, we got some, I took some profits, and buying a safe contract winner that had support right below my entry, I profited. And this is not random. Penny stocks are not random. You can profit even from the coast of Spain with no air conditioning and 2 hours of sleep. Thank you. God bless. Good night. I'll see you guys in the chat room.